Rama Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I have great pleasure to welcome you all for this session of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. on behalf of ISKCON Chennai and on my own personal behalf. Today we are taking up the next chapter, chapter 10, entitled The Opulence of the Absolute. So before we start, let us chant the Mangala Sharanam prayers. I request all of you to join with me so that we invoke auspiciousness on this program, and we will sincerely pray to the Guru Parampara and to Lord Shri Krishna to help us understand this essence of all Upanishads, which is showing us the direct path to reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to become permanently free and liberated from the toils of this material existence. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्रीराधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्रीराधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रा सुभद्राभ्यां श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनंदनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you to relish this amazing milk called Srimad Bhagavad Gita that is yielded by the cow, the Surabhi cow, which is the personification of all the Vedas and Upanishads. Sarvo Upanishado Gavo. So that cow is yielding the amazing milk called Srimad Bhagavad Gita with the help of the milkman called Lord Sri Krishna and the little calf who is a pure devotee of Lord Krishna called Arjuna. So only in the presence of Arjuna and the milkman, Lord Shri Krishna, the Upanishads yield the true meaning, what is meant for all of us. We are all meant to drink that milk and be nourished by it, by the eternal nectar of that milk. Hare Krishna. So today we are starting the 10th chapter. I have already given you a briefing that the second 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita are very, very important, starting from 7 to 12. So, and then you come to the 9th and 10th chapters. They are the very center of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, right? 8 chapters this side, 8 chapters that side, and 2 in the center, 9 and 10. So, the 9th chapter spoke a lot about bhakti, bhaktas, how the bhaktas achieve the Lord by serving Him in various ways. And right from the 7th chapter, the Lord has been describing about Himself as the Shaktiman and the possessor of various Shaktis. And the various Shaktis are being described. We have been hearing right from the 7th chapter and in the 9th chapter also. So now the Lord is going to describe more of his opulences. The supreme personality of Godhead called Bhagavan. He is full in all opulences, 6 opulences. Can any one of you unmute and list out these 6 opulences? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji.
Beauty,
Yes. Who will
beauty,
say?
wealth,
richest person.
So wealth, beauty, wealth. Yes. Go ahead.
And
beauty,
Prabhuji,
wealth,
yeah.
strength,
Strength,
Strength.
fame, wealth,
fame, yes.
knowledge,
Knowledge.
renunciation.
And
Renunciation.
renunciation is the last. Even though he is the possessor of all these opulences in an unlimited degree, imagine an ocean that has no limits, no boundaries. We have oceans on this earth, but they are bounded by at least the earth. No ocean is bigger than the earth. So earth becomes the boundary for the ocean. Similarly, the depth of the ocean, it ranges from 4 miles to 11 miles. In places, it is quite deep, 11 miles. But we know the limits of these oceans. But these 6 opulences of Krishna, the limits are not known to anyone. What do you think? Does Krishna know the limit of this? His opulences? Anybody wants to venture a reply to this question? Does Krishna know the limits of his own opulences?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I think the answer is no.
Yes, that is the amazing answer. There is only one thing that Krishna also doesn't know. That is the limits of his own opulences. Is it a limitation? Do you think that makes somehow Krishna incomplete? Yes?
No, Prabhuji is complete in every possible way.
Yeah, but there is something that he doesn't know.
Still, he is complete in every possible way.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. It is simply expanding eternally. It is expanding eternally as the soul. See, the Lord is basically reciprocating. And with ordinary living entities, his reciprocation is very simple. I want my daily bread, then he will give me my daily bread. I want to have a nice car, I want to have a nice bungalow, just like that he will. But then when the devotees become more and more purified, they have no desires of themselves. Their only desire is to serve the Lord and to see him happy. Then the competition starts between the devotee and the Lord. The devotee wants to serve the Lord in amazing ways to please him. And then Krishna reciprocates. In amazing ways, he serves the devotee. So actually what is happening is mutually they are serving each other, even though neither of them are in need of anything. Neither the Lord nor the devotee is in need of anything. They are both called Atma Ramas. Atma Ramas means fully satisfied with it. And the devotee simply wants to see Krishna smile. Why does the devotee serve the Lord? His service, the motive is to see the smile on the face of the Lord. He has no other desires. And the Lord is thinking, Array, how am I going to repay to this fellow? They are simply surrendering everything to me. They simply have no personal demand. Then how am I going to satisfy? How am I going to reciprocate completely with this person? So in this way, Krishna's opulences are constantly expanding. So when we say even Krishna doesn't know the limits of his opulence, that is actually a glorification of Krishna. It is not a limitation of Krishna, it's a glorification of Krishna. So now, in the 10th chapter, Arjuna has not asked any question. Krishna voluntarily he starts talking. Why? Because in front of him there is a pure devotee. And the devotee is full of years, 1,000 years to just listen to what Krishna is talking. The more he hears Krishna talk, the more he wants to hear. That is the beauty of Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha has 2 meanings. One is what Krishna is talking is Krishna Katha. Secondly, talking about Krishna, that is also Krishna Katha. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita as well as Srimad Bhagavatam, both are Krishna Katha. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna talking. Bhagavatam is talking about Krishna. Both are Krishna Katha. And as far as devotees are concerned, they never become fully satiated by hearing this. Rather, the more they hear, the more the eagerness increases. More the eagerness increases. So, can I ask you one more question? We say in the material world, sense pleasures, the more we enjoy, the more the hankering increases. We never become satisfied. We hanker more and more for sense gratification. And now I am telling, with regard to Krishna also, it is the same thing, that we want to learn more and more about him. We want to see more and more about him. All our senses are hankering to experience Krishna more and more. So what is the difference between material sense gratification and loving Krishna? What is the difference? Would
Hare
anybody-
Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
I think if you're from the material angle, you become sadder and sadder, you become more sad. And when you hanker for Krishna, the happiness only goes on increasing. So you're more and more happy, as the day goes by and you know more about Krishna. Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Does everybody agree? Would somebody like to say something more? Add to what Mataji just spoke?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavad.
That
Prabhuji, like for material, we can say like fire, because fire it increases more and more. And for Krishna Bhakti, maybe sea, it is so vast, like there is no end to, sea, something like that. I can relate.
Yeah, actually, yes. The more we try to describe, the more we are out of words. The more we are trying to think about Krishna, the more we want to speak, but we don't find the words. So actually, all sense pleasures, they lead to frustration. And all sense pleasures, they promise a lot, but deliver little. They promise a lot. Yeah, we hanker so much for sense pleasures, but eventually when we get it, very disappointed. And then what happens? It is like pouring fire into oil, oil into fire. The fire burns bigger. So the desire for sense gratification constantly increases, but the fulfillment from sense gratification is so very little, and it produces so much side effects also, from which we suffer. It creates some scars within our heart, and because of these some scars, our desires start burning brighter and brighter, and at the same time our eligibility for enjoyment keeps coming down, because unless you have sufficient punya, you won't be able to enjoy also. At the same time, while enjoying sense gratification, you are creating bad karma. That means more suffering piles up for you. So essentially, with regard to material sense gratification, the promise is more than what is delivered. And actually, more and more suffering only comes, even though the hankering of the heart, the burning of the heart, that increases. But there is no actually satisfaction. But the devotee is something else. The devotee is filled with joy for himself. He doesn't want anything more. Actually, there is a nice description about Goloka. The Lord has got Raktaka, Badraka, like that, they are his servants. So Raktaka is fanning the Lord. Krishna is just relaxing, and Raktaka is fanning. And just by fanning and looking at the beauty of the Lord and seeing the Lord appreciating his fanning, because Lord is constant reciprocator. Don't think Lord is busy reciprocating with somebody, so he will come to me, my turn will come. That is not the case. The Lord is constantly reciprocating. So what is happening to Raktaka? He's fanning the Lord, and he's happy about fanning the Lord, and the Lord is appreciating. That is filling him with more happiness. What is happening? Tears are welling up in his eyes. So he's no longer able to see this amazing form of Krishna. And his body is becoming frozen out of ecstasy. He's unable to move the hand. And all the more the body starts shivering. He's losing balance. He is afraid anytime he may fall down. All these are ecstatic symptoms. And then he's cursing the ecstasy for what all of us are trying hard. What we are all trying hard to experience. Raktaka is cursing. Oh, to hell with this ecstasy. I don't want, because it is preventing me from serving my dear Lord. It is interfering with my service. For me, my service is more important than my ecstasy. Because my service pleases my Lord. I want to see my Lord happy. How can I render my service? So these are the amazing things about the spiritual world, which we are like we have been given a bottle of honey, and it is tightly sealed. We don't know what is inside. We have been told it is honey. It's a very sweet tasting nectar. It is so tasty, but we are just trying to lick the bottle and hoping that I will get some hint of what is inside. We are all in that condition because until we get rid of our subtle body, we now have a gross body, outer garment, gross body. We have an inner garment, subtle body, made of mind, intelligence, and false ego. These coverings don't allow us to experience the Lord, who is beyond the gunas. My gross body and subtle body are both covered by the gunas, sattva, raja, tamo guna. But the Lord is beyond the gunas. He is in the Vishuddha Sattva, Vasudhaiva platform. So I am not actually qualified. But the acharyas are so merciful. What cannot be described in words, they are describing in words. It's beyond the words. You know, there is a name for the Lord called Adokshaja. Does anybody know the meaning of this word? The Lord has a name, Adokshaja, one of his names, Adokshaja.
Unimaginable, Prabhuji.
Good try.
He is not.
Adokshaja.
He is not.
We cannot understand.
Yes, yes. Good try again. Yes,
Prabhuji, this is all between the alphabets A to Sha. So,
where do you get this A and Ksha?
that is there in alphabet.
Yes, Sanskrit alphabet.
Sanskrit alphabet.
Maybe in Bengali alphabet also, I don't know.
Yes, almost in all.
A is the first letter, Ksha is the last letter of the alphabet. So all the words that you can imagine, all the words that exist or they may exist in the future, they all have to be compressed within this A and Ksha. There is no description beyond A and Ksha. All the words, the whole dictionary, the thesaurus, everything is contained within this A and Ksha. Akshaja. What is the meaning of Ja? Ja means that which is born out of Ja. Like we say, Padmaja, Sindhuja. Sindhuja means one who is born from the ocean. Vanaja, one who is born in the forest. Like that. Ja. So Akshaja means all the words take birth from A and Ksha only. You can say A is the father, Ksha is the mother. Between A and Ksha, all the words are contained. So that is Akshaja. And the Lord is Adokshaja. Ada Akshaja means whatever Akshaja is there, the Lord is pushing it down by his feet. They are all lying under his feet. The Lord is above Akshaja. Ada Akshaja. Akshaja is below him. All the words ever invented in the alphabet, they are all under him. That means how the words can describe him? Cannot describe. So Lord is beyond description. But still we are describing him. So one of the names we have given to the Lord, Adokshaja. Lord, you cannot be described by words, but still I want to give you a name. So I am giving you a name, Adokshaja. Like that. So the acharyas somehow, amazingly, what cannot be described and understood by words, they are helping us to understand them. Why? So that they can create a hankering in our heart for the Lord. So the Lord supports this initiative. The Lord doesn't say, hey, why you are trying? You can never understand me. No. Lord says, no, keep trying. Lord appreciates. Oh, very nice. You give me a name called Adokshaja. Beautiful. I like that. The Lord is constantly appreciating and encouraging. Go on appreciating me. Do you think the Lord is, what do you call, one who wants to hear his own praise? Is he such a person? Why does the Lord want to be appreciated? Hare Krishna.
For our purification, Prabhuji.
Why does
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, to encourage us, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can't hear you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, you hear me now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Sorry, I
Yes,
think
Prabhuji.
for a while. Okay. Okay, I think without much ado, let me proceed to take up today's topic. So, the point that I was trying to make is become now very, very alert. Now we have to start simply diving into the version of Krishna and start relishing. Krishna voluntarily he is now talking because someone like Arjuna, pure devotee, is standing in front of him with all ears open. So Krishna is going to describe himself. Otherwise, he has not been asked any question by Arjuna now. Arjuna is simply, his mouth is wide open and gazing at the lotus face of the Lord and just all ears to listen to whatever he would speak. So let us see from Shloka 1.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, the
Krishna.
slide sharing has stopped.
Okay, I'll go to the share. Yeah,
Okay.
okay. I have to start that again. Okay, I think. Okay, it's here. Hare Krishna. Play. Okay, so Shloka number 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Bhuya eva mahabaho shrudu me paramam vachah yatteham priyamanaya vakshyami hitakamyaya. So I have already given you the preamble. Krishna is saying, Arjuna, I am going to speak to you more. What I am going to speak? Higher knowledge. Why? Because you are my dear friend. That's all. The case rests. Why does Krishna speak more? Because Arjuna is best friend. And when the Lord and devotee meet, unlimited exchanges take place between them. We are not competent or qualified to understand what goes on between them. The Lord and the devotee, when they meet each other, something undescribable happens between them. They both become totally stunned, and then what happens between them is an exchange of madness. It cannot be described in words. So now Krishna is talking, Arjuna is listening, and you see, even in the material world, if there is a speaker and there is a listener, if the speaker finds the listener really interested and absorbing whatever being spoken, the speaker becomes more enthusiastic. So the listener makes the speaker speak more. That is happening now. Arjuna is making Krishna voluptuous. Speak more and more. Krishna wants to talk. Because Arjuna is a dear friend. So that is what Prabhupada says. As devotees, we should be always eager to hear more and more about Krishna, about his name, form, activities, pastimes, his qualities. In the association of devotees, if we constantly hear, then we come to know more and more about Krishna. We become more fixed up in bhakti. So, how much is enough? There is no answer to this question. We should be 24 hours in Krishna consciousness, either hearing or speaking or meditating or doing archana, vandana, some other activity. We should be constantly engaged in service of Krishna. Second shloka. Name vidu suragana prabhavam na maharshayah ahamadirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasah. Here, Krishna settles this one question permanently. There is one question always. Can you show me God? Can I see God? Can you describe God? How can I understand God? Where is God? People have all kinds of questions. They think they are competent to understand God. They think if I explain, they will understand. They think God can be put into words. That God is, we can draw a boundary around God and show within this boundary is God. People think like that so cheaply. If God can be described in some word, then he's not God. Someone who can be described. If his powers can be described, if his activities can be fully described, then he's not God. So God means nobody can understand him, and Krishna is making it very clear. Name vidu suragana. All the demigods, they cannot understand me. They don't know me. Or the great sages, Prabhavamna Maharshaya, the greatest rishis, the seers, we say the seers, the sages, the munis. Krishna says, none of them know me. None of the devatas know me. They don't know what? They don't know my origin. From where I came, they don't know. They know Krishna is there, but they don't know from where he has come. Nor do they know the limits of his opulences. They only know Krishna has unlimited opulences. If somebody appreciates that Krishna has unlimited opulences, you can say he knows something. If somebody says, I know the opulences of Krishna, then he knows nothing. So Krishna is telling, why is it like that? Neither the devatas nor the rishis know him, because Krishna is the source. They all descend from him. They are all created by him. They all come from him. He is the original source. So can you accept this argument? Krishna says, they all descended from me, Arjuna. How can they know me? I cannot be understood by them. So the question arises, can our scientists understand? These great rishis were created great by the Lord. These great demigods were created great by the desire of the Lord. What to speak about our scientists? What about to speak about philosophers? What to speak about our so-called great thinkers? People with high IQs and so-called. Do you think they can ever understand God? Or do you think you should ever read their books to know whether God exists or not? Would you like to know from them whether God really exists? And they will give arguments to prove that God does not exist. Or they will give arguments to prove that God may exist, but he is powerless to do anything. Or they may prove that he is powerful, but he's not a very nice person. They can prove in any way they want, because they are only using words. So let us be clear. They are all created by Krishna. But Krishna is not created by anyone. So I don't want to accept the mental speculation of these people. It's all mental speculation. So Krishna is settling it. And how Krishna is settling? Beautifully, Srila Prabhupada says, here the Lord indirectly says that if anyone wants to know the absolute truth is Krishna. So Krishna is saying, here I am, present as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am supreme. I am the Supreme. So Krishna is declaring to Arjuna, I am the Supreme. If you want to know the absolute truth, here I am, standing in front of you as a person. This is the absolute truth. Don't try to describe in other words. Here I am present as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the amazing lesson that Krishna is teaching us. Please take it deeply into your heart. Whatever you are hearing now in the 10th chapter, they are the ultimate words from Lord Krishna to settle all the doubts in your mind. Never ever go to all these thinkers, philosophers, speakers, all these men who declare they have got high IQs, all this. Let us turn to Bhagavad Gita for our true knowledge. Third shloka. Yo mam ajam anadim cha veti lokamaheshwaram asammudha samartyeshu sarva papai pramuchyate. So Krishna is saying ajam. Ajam means unborn. Yo mam ajam. I am unborn. Anadim, I have no beginning. So neither I am born nor I have a beginning. So sometimes the Jivatma is also described like this. Jivatma is also unborn. It's a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Yes. But there is a difference. What is the difference? Jivatma, even though unborn, but it takes birth in various material bodies. Right? We are born and we die, right? We know the soul doesn't die. We have heard from Krishna. But still, we are experiencing birth, we are experiencing death, we are experiencing old age, we are experiencing disease. And all these experiences are beyond our control. So we have to understand Jivatma and the Supreme Lord are different. Supreme Lord is unborn. He has no beginning. And he is the master of all universes. And when he takes birth, he does not take birth like us. He is not beyond his control taking birth. And he is not taking birth in material bodies. So there is a fundamental difference we have to understand. We are also Aja. Soul is Aja. But we are experiencing birth. And the soul is deathless, immortal. But we are experiencing death. But Krishna is not like that. Okay. So we are all conditioned. The Lord is beyond all conditioning. So that we have to understand. 4 and 5. Here, the Lord is describing what all things are coming out of him. Everything comes out of him. In one word, it is settled. The Lord was there in the beginning, and everything has come from him. But the devotee doesn't want to end there. He wants to hear more and more. So the Lord is speaking more and more. And also, if you hear it in such greater detail, it will sit in your heart in a better way. You will not forget. You will not forget. And it also gives you a mechanism by which you can remember God in any situation, in any stage of your life. You will never forget him. That Krishna is facilitating by speaking more and more about himself. So Krishna is giving a list of what are the qualities of living beings. They are coming from Krishna only. Whatever qualities we say, it is my quality. Krishna says, no, it's all created by me. I have created. And I have given you your quota. Based on your samskaras, I am giving you a quota. Somebody has a higher IQ, somebody has a higher level of wealth, somebody is more beautiful, somebody has better quality of forgiveness, truthfulness, control of senses. Different people have different endowment of these qualities. But everything is Krishna's. Krishna is the create. See, just see. We talked about opulences, but now we are saying they are created by Krishna. Whatever now we are going to see the list. The list is created by Krishna. Okay, let us read the shlokas. Buddhirjnanam asammoha kshama satyam damas shamaha sukham dukkham bhavo bhavo bhayam cha bhayameva cha ahimsa samata tushtis tapodhanam yasho yashah bhavanti bhava bhutanam matta eva pratak vidaha. So, what is the list? Let us read this list. Intelligence, knowledge. Somebody has doubts about intelligence and knowledge? Very briefly, actually. Intelligence is the ability to analyze things. See, the whole world is around us. Both the manifest and unmanifest world is around us. And we are also there with our own body, our own mind, our own intelligence, etc. So we have to analyze and understand what is around me. That ability to analyze, the ability to discriminate, that's called intelligence. And what is knowledge? By proper application of intelligence, you acquire knowledge. Not the knowledge that we get in schools and colleges, so-called knowledge, history, geography, maths, physics, chemistry. That is not knowledge. What is knowledge? We have to know to discriminate between matter and spirit. That is ultimate knowledge. You should know what is jada, matter, and what is spirit. That we should know. Within me, there is jada and spirit. Right? My whole body, my subtle body, is all jada. But there is a soul within, that is spirit. This distinction I should make. Within me and around me, I should be able to distinguish between what is matter and what is spirit. And I should know who is God. God is both matter and spirit. So that we should know. That is knowledge. How do you get this knowledge? By using intelligence. Can I use my own intelligence? Yes. You should use your intelligence to approach the spiritual master. That is the use of your intelligence. By accepting that I am not qualified, but this knowledge is available in the scriptures, and when I go to a bona fide spiritual master, he can open the doors to me to access what the scriptures say. So that is intelligence. Correct use of intelligence is to surrender your intelligence to your spiritual master. Whatever intelligence I have, I should surrender it. Then only the master will give me his intelligence. My intelligence is bogus. That much we should know. So knowledge. Then other things, freedom from doubt, because very, very important, samshayatma vinashyati, Krishna says. When it comes to spiritual matters, we should become free from doubt. And that quality comes from Krishna. So if you pray to Krishna, he can remove your doubts. Just remember this. Whatever doubt I have, Krishna, please remove. That is the best way. Forgiveness, truthfulness. So truthfulness, please understand, there is absolute truth and there is relative truth. Truthfulness is really always looking upward, urdhva. We should always be looking for the absolute truth. That makes you truly truthful. Control of senses, control of mind, all these things, the Lord only awards. It's awarded by the Lord. So through prayers, you can get all these things. Through sincere prayers to the Lord, you can get all these things. Happiness and distress, both are created by the Lord. Qualities created by the Lord. Birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, infamy, everything is coming from the Lord. And how does the Lord distribute this to us? It is all handled by the material energy based on our samskaras. By my own past activities and my eligibility, it is awarded to me like that. So Prabhupada has given a detailed description of each of these qualities. You can kindly go through it. Under Shloka 4 and 5, there is a long purports written by Srila Prabhupada. So each quality in a spiritual way he explains. It is very nice if you can go through that. Ultimately, regarding charity, we saw the word charity here, austerity, charity. About charity, Srila Prabhupada writes, I want to read it to you. As far as charity is concerned, one should give 50, don't get scared, don't faint. Listen to this with an open mind. One should give 50% of his earnings to some good cause. What you earn is not your money, please understand. Like we read a list here, your earnings are also given by Krishna only. If you fully appreciate that, and the scripture says 50% should be given in charity. That's called yagya, dana, yagya. You give it away to some good cause. And what is a good cause? Prabhupada says, it is that which is conducted in terms of Krishna consciousness. Good cause means it should be Krishna conscious cause. Otherwise, it is not a good cause. Then Prabhupada explains in another place, not in this particular place, but in another place, Prabhupada explains what is auspicious and inauspicious. That he explained actually under the third shloka. Prabhupada says, in this world, we consider certain things as auspicious, certain things as inauspicious. Correct? But Prabhupada says, Prabhupada, whatever he speaks is from scripture only. Not that Prabhupada is inventing something or speculating. In this material world, everything is inauspicious. There is nothing auspicious in this material world. Real auspiciousness depends on activities in Krishna consciousness in full devotion and service. If you do your activities without Krishna consciousness, then you are going towards death. That's all. Death is inauspicious, definitely. You are going towards death and rebirth, death, rebirth, death, rebirth. That's all. So how can anything be auspicious if it is not Krishna conscious? Only by Krishna consciousness you go towards immortality, and that is auspiciousness. Immortality and eternal joy in the association of the Lord. That is the only auspiciousness possible. So here also, when it comes to charity, by giving charity to activities which are done in terms of Krishna consciousness, that is the best cause. Because Krishna is good, his cause is also good. Thus, charity should be given to a person who is engaged in Krishna consciousness. According to the Vedic literature, it is enjoined that charity should be given to the Brahmanas. Please understand, scriptures say the only qualified person to receive charity is Brahmana. The moment I say Brahmana, don't think in terms of by birth. Brahmana has a meaning. Not that simply, today we give meanings to bablu, bublu, like that we give names to people. That has no meaning. So when you hear the word Brahmana, please don't think it is a word without meaning. Simply somebody is called Brahmana. Don't think that. It has a meaning. We know already Brahman. What is Brahman? Truth. Absolute truth is called Brahman. So Brahmana means one who knows the absolute truth. Please take it from me. One who knows the absolute truth loses interest in this material. He has no interest in this material world because whatever pleasures in this world are temporary and he loses interest in that. He wants eternal happiness and he wants to self-realize. He wants self-realization. And so he is in a mood of serving others only. That is actually definition of Brahmana. So Shastra says if you want to give charity, only give it to Brahmana. That's what Prabhupada is saying. This practice is still followed, although not very nicely. But still the injunction is that charity should be given to Brahmanas. Why? Because they are engaged in higher cultivation of spiritual knowledge. And then, there is lack of time, so I'm not reading the whole thing, but I really want you all to read this. So the best Brahmana is a devotee of Krishna. It's not a matter of in which caste he is born, how is he born in a low caste, or he's not even a Hindu. If anybody is a Vaishnava, he is greater than a Brahmana. So that way, the best charity, today you don't find a good Brahmana, but you can always find the ISKCON society, what it is trying to do? It is trying to give Krishna consciousness throughout the world. And people's hearts become happy. And when somebody is happy, he will never hurt others. Please note down, I am going to give you 4 words. Actually, I am going to repeat 2 words, but it has different meanings. Hurt people, hurt people. Please write it down. Hurt people, hurt people. The first 2 words mean those who have been hurt by others. They are hurt people. People who have been hurt by others, hurt people. Hurt people. They have a tendency to hurt others. If I have suffered, I want to see you suffer. So that is hurt people, hurt people. But one who is not hurt, one who is happy, overflowing with happiness, he will never try to harm others. And that is the power of a Vaishnava. Vaishnava is paradukka dukhi. Even Prahlad Maharaj, then Narsingadev is saying, Prahlad, you have suffered so much in the hands of your father. Now I have come in front of you. Please ask me any boon you want. 5-year-old baby. Lord Narsingadev is asking, keeping Prahlad in his lap, licking him like a tiger, licks the cub. Like that, the lion Narsinga is licking the head of Prahlad and smelling. And then asking him, please ask whatever you want. Then Prahlad says, I don't want anything. But I am so worried about these fools and rascals in this world. They are forgetting you and suffering endlessly. I don't want liberation until I can free them all. So Prahlad is still here in Sutala Loka, planning how to liberate all the suffering souls in this world. That is the nature of a Vaishnava. So who is a qualified person for charity? You should give charity to such a person. They will know how to use your charity. Okay, let us move on to Shloka 6. Maharshaya saptapurve chatvaro manavastatha madbhava manasa jata yesham lokayima prajaha. So the Lord is saying, who all have proceeded from him. Everything proceeded from him. We already settled that, but now giving details. So the 7 great sages, we say Saptarishi. In the sky, we see Saptarishi Mandala. These days, we don't see. When I was a child, I used to see in the sky. My father used to show, this is a Saptarishi Mandala in the form of a kite, 4 dots and a tail like that, Saptarishi Mandala. So these Saptarishis I have created. And then before them, there were 4 great sages. They are 4 jnanis. They are called Kumaras, 4 Kumaras. They are the 4 great sages. And then 14 Manus. So 7 plus 4, 11 plus 14, 25. All these 25 great souls, they are born from my mind. What do? They are only populating all the planets. So they are called Prajapatis. These 25 people who are born from the Lord, they are populating the whole world. How they are populating? Giving bodies to the souls. That is the job they are doing. Souls are all children of Krishna only. They are not creating souls, but they are giving bodies to all the souls according to their karma. That is the job of the Prajapatis. So Krishna says, they are all descended from me only. 7th shloka. Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo veti tatvatah so vikalpena yogena yujyate natra samshayah. So he says again, samshaya, na atra samshaya. Samshaya means doubt. Na atra samshaya. There is no doubt. What is no doubt? If you are convinced of the opulence and mystic power of Krishna, by hearing all this, if you become convinced of the mystic power of Krishna, then you will become his devotee. That is why Krishna is describing, please understand. I asked you this question, why we should speak about the glories of Krishna? Because by hearing more and more the glories of Krishna, you become convinced. And when you are convinced, what happens? You develop unalloyed devotional service. Ananya Bhakti, pure devotion, without any personal desire. You become a devotee. Krishna says there is no doubt about it. So, please make a determination today. I want to hear more and more and more about Krishna from the best sources. I want to hear from pure devotees. I want to read the books of Srila Prabhupada. I want to read from the books of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, who are writing so many books about their own experiences with Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada Leelamrit, we should read like that. Then, without doubt, we will develop unalloyed devotional service. 8th shloka. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Acha. Now, from this 8th shloka to the 11th shloka, 4 shlokas, 8, 9, 10, 11, they are called Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. If you want the essence of Bhagavad Gita, these 4 shlokas will give you the essence. So be very, very alert. Please memorize these 4 shlokas. All these 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is called Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Please remember. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. So Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I am the master of everything. Everything means both this material world and spiritual world. They both come from me. Spiritual world also. The eternal spiritual world, that is coming from Krishna. And material world, that is also from Krishna. So Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I am the supreme of everything that exists, both spiritual world and material world. And matta sarvam pravartate. Everything is emanating from me. Everything is coming out of me. Matta sarvam pravartate iti matva. By knowing this, who knows this? Buddha, intelligent people. Bhava samanvitaha, with great care. What do? Bhajante mam, they worship me. They do devotional service to me. By knowing that Krishna is the source of everything and everything emanates from him, the wise people, what they do? They start engaging devotional service wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. Buddha bhava samanvitaha, with full feeling and attention. So that is a recommendation to you and me to understand that Krishna is the source of everything and then become his pure devotee. Wholeheartedly, with full attention, we have to perform. Please remember, this is Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. 700 shlokas. I am going to condense everything. Krishna is condensing everything in 4 shlokas. 700 shlokas in 4. First shloka we have done. So, Prabhupada is saying, everything, it was Krishna. This is in the Gopalathapani Upanishad. Krishna in the beginning instructed Brahma in Vedic knowledge. So, Brahma was born from the navel of Vishnu, and the Vishnu is an expansion of Krishna, and Brahma is the secondary creator. The Lord creates Brahma and Brahma creates the material creation. Okay, so he's called secondary creator. Lord is the primary creator. Okay, so here also Prabhupada is giving detailed descriptions. I request all of you to go through. The more you learn about Krishna, the more you become his devotee. That's the reason we have to learn. So here is the 9th shloka. Machchitta madgata prana bodhayantaha parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Here Krishna is describing. Already we saw the wise people, they worship Krishna always. 8th shloka. 8th shloka we saw the wise people engage in Krishna's devotional service continuously. What do they do? In the 9th shloka you will see. If I am a pure devotee of Krishna, what will I do? That answer comes. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me, Krishna says. Their thoughts. Just think about our thoughts. Our thoughts are in so many directions, right? In every single direction, our thoughts are flying. They are not focused anywhere. When I try to focus, it is scattered. Somebody was told, somebody went to a sage and he requested the sage, I want to get special powers to fly in the sky. Please help me. So the sage said, no problem. I will give you one mantra. With this mantra, you will be able to fly within 1 week only. So the man took the mantra and he was walking away. The sage said, wait a minute, I forgot to give you one important instruction. What is that instruction? When you sit down for chanting this mantra 10 minutes daily, during those 10 minutes, don't think of monkeys. That's one precaution. If you think of monkeys, it will not work. This mantra will not. So the man said, no problem. Why I will think of monkeys? I will go home and within the next 1 week, I will fly. He had full faith in that sage. So he went home and he started chanting. Then he started chanting for 2 minutes. Then he thought, oh, the Rishi told me something, some caution he gave me. What is that? Oh, I should not think of monkeys. Then from that moment onwards, different monkeys started appearing in his mind. Brown monkeys, red monkeys, green monkeys, yellow monkeys, and jumping from tree to tree, small ones, big ones, making all kinds of faces, and he could not free his mind at all. Then eventually he went to the sage. He told, why did you tell monkeys? Then sage said, I just wanted you to know how uncontrolled mind you have. And you think that mind is your friend. When you have such a wrong notion, how can I teach you higher subjects? So I wanted you to understand that first your mind has to be controlled. So here we talk about pure devotees. Their mind is automatically dwelling in Krishna. Can somebody say why? Hare Krishna. Unmute yourself and tell me one good reason why the thoughts of pure devotees dwell in Krishna only.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, maybe they are completely surrendered and always in his thought.
Yes, but why did they surrender? How did they surrender?
By chanting, by coming closer,
Yes.
remembering him every time.
Whatever
That's
they
correct.
do for
And
pleasure of Krishna, in that way
They
they.
have fully surrendered to
Mataji,
Krishna.
say that again. Yeah, you are quite close, but I'm looking for one particular
I
point.
think it's because of the relationship that they have with Krishna as a devotee. The bond that is there between Krishna and a devotee is so strong and so powerful and so pure. And every good word that I can use in the world, I think that is what that bond that is there between Krishna and the devotee, that is what is the bridge. And that is what
Nice word.
takes the devotee
Nice
to the
word you used, bond. So when the bond is, inside the bond, the devotee and Krishna both are there. So how the thoughts can go away from Krishna? His thoughts are bound with Krishna. That means he has developed such an attraction for Krishna. We all know Krishna is most attractive, but we have not tried to understand Krishna. So through Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, we understand Krishna. When we come in the association of devotees, we come to know more and more about Krishna. Then our thoughts are not going to deviate. As long as I am thinking of material sense gratification, my thoughts will deviate. As long as I am thinking I am this body and I have to give pleasure to this body and I have these selfish thoughts, then I cannot hold my thoughts on Krishna. But pure devotees, they have no selfishness and their only happiness is the happiness of Krishna. And they are experiencing this higher taste. What is the higher taste? Krishna consciousness is a higher taste. So these devotees, by meditating on Krishna, they have developed so much attachment to Krishna, the bond. So the thoughts, even if they want to take away the thoughts, they won't go away. Can you imagine? The gopis, Uddhava is going and giving them a nice sermon. He's telling, oh gopis, your Krishna is actually Paramatma. He is inside everybody. Whenever you want, you just meditate on Krishna and he will appear in the lotus of your heart. Gopis are simply looking at Uddhava without any comprehension. What are you talking? Our problem is different. What is that different problem? Can anybody guess? Gopis are saying our problem is different from what you are talking. Gopis are saying our problem is not about thinking about Krishna. We want not to think about Krishna. We want
Hare
to
Krishna
take
Prabhu, I
him.
think their problem.
Yes, Mataji.
Their problem is that they cannot forget Krishna. Krishna is constantly on their mind.
Yes, when we think of Krishna, it gives us so much pain, separation. We want to forget
Prabhuji
it,
means
and you are telling
Hare
us to
Krishna.
meditate. Do you want us to? Yes, Saurabh Prabhu.
Prabhuji, even they flick the eyes, na, so they feel ki God has gone, something like that. They love
Yes,
so much.
yes. So, for such a person, can the thoughts go away from Krishna? The thoughts will just remain in Krishna. The thoughts are always at the lotus feet of Krishna. They don't go away anywhere. Yes, Vinay Sanatan Prabhu, want to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, when Krishna left the Vrindavan and going Mathura, and gopis, all gopis are crying. Then Akrurji coming there, he asking, we need Krishna, but no need Mathura Krishna. We need Vrindavan Krishna.
Yeah, they
Because
don't want Mathura.
Vrindavan Krishna is no pure love with gopis. Mathura Krishna
Yeah.
is Raja, he's king. He's different.
Yeah.
He's not love with him.
Actually, that is the story of Rath Yatra. Rath Yatra, Krishna has come to Kurukshetra for the solar eclipse, and there the gopis are seeing, Radharani is seeing, Krishna is there dressed like a prince, and he's standing on his chariot and with all golden ornaments, everything, looking like a proper royal dress, everything. And they are saying, this is the same Krishna, but we are not finding happiness here. We want this Krishna to come to Vrindavan. And then they pull the chariot to Vrindavan. From Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra also represents Dwarka. Dwarka Krishna, the same prince, is then Kurukshetra, which is much closer to Vrindavan. So the gopis are dragging Krishna to Vrindavan, and that is actually Rath Yatra. The temple, Ratnasimhasan in Jagannath Puri, that represents Dwarka. And Gundicha, where the Rath will eventually go, that represents Vrindavan. And the pulling of the Rath is actually in the bhava of the gopis. The gopis want Krishna in Vrindavan. They want Vrindavan Krishna. So that is the amazing reciprocation of the Lord with his pure devotees. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So the thoughts of pure devotees dwell in Krishna. There is no wonder. Because unless you find something more interesting, how your thoughts will go away? Krishna is Nava Yavvanam. He's constantly giving new beauty. Krishna's beauty is constantly enhancing, and it is giving more and more happiness to the devotee. How he will go away from Krishna? How the thoughts will go? So their lives are fully devoted to my service. Krishna's words. Krishna is describing his devotees. Machitta, Madgata Prana. They are totally devoted to me. They derive great satisfaction and bliss. What is this? Tushyanticha, Ramanticha. They get so much satisfaction and bliss. From what? Bodayantaha parasparam. They talk to each other. Somebody is speaking about Krishna, other person is listening. Other person is speaking, this person is listening. Just by talking and hearing about Krishna, they become so much happy. Katayantascha, Mam Nityam. Constantly they are always meditating on me. So that way they are happy. Remember, we are in the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Second shloka is done. Please remember. Then we go to third shloka. That is shloka number 10. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. Krishna is now telling what he is willing to do for his devotees. Please listen very, very carefully. Krishna is telling what he is willing to do for his devotees. Krishna, the Supreme Lord, if he wants to do something, who can stop him? Mare Krishna Rakhe Ke, Rakhe Krishna Mare Ke. If Krishna wants to kill someone, who can save that person? If Krishna wants to save somebody, who can kill that person? Who can harm that person? So here Krishna is talking about his mood towards his devotees. So Krishna is telling, Tesham means such people who Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam. In all ways they are constantly lovingly serving me, constantly devoted to serving me with love. To such people, to those, that is Tesham. Tesham means to those people. Bhajatam Priti Purvakam, with so much love they are worshipping me. Dadami, I give. Dadami, Sanskrit. Dadami, I give. Dadami, I give. First person. Dadami. Buddhi Yogam Tam. Buddhi Yogam. I give them the intelligence. For what purpose? Yena mamupayantite. The way they can come back to me. I give them the understanding. I give them the intelligence by which they can come back to me. So that don't think the intelligence is within us. That intelligence Krishna gives to those he chooses, to those devotees who have no other desire except to serve Krishna, and they are serving Krishna with love constantly. To such people, dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayantite. Buddhi yogam. That buddhi yoga is actually devotional service. So he gives those people the taste for loving devotional service to Krishna, so that you serve him and he will give you taste to serve him better, to serve him better, to serve him better, and to remove all the impurities in your heart. And then you are ready to go back to the spiritual world and continue your service. That is the mercy of Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita, Chatusloki, third shloka, we understand that even the ability to serve him with love comes from Krishna. What I have to do? I have to put effort. I have to do nothing. I have to do effort. That's all. We have nothing with us. We have only that simple determination we need to have. Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. We need to have enthusiasm. We should have determination. We should have patience. Please write down these three things. Utsaha, enthusiasm. Nishchaya, determination. Dhairya, patience. These three qualities we should have, and we should go on doing devotional service in the association of devotees. Then everything will come to us automatically. Okay, so now we come to the fourth Chatushloki, the last shloka of the Chatushloki. Very amazing. Again, Krishna starts with the word Tesham, to those people. To which people? Eva Anukampartham, I give special mercy. Anukampartham means for the purpose of giving special mercy. Please see this. To such people, I give special mercy. What do I do? Special mercy. Aham ajnanajam tamaha. Ajnanajam tamaha. Out of ignorance, there is darkness in the hearts of the devotee. Because of past activities, there is darkness in the heart of the devotee. He has come to do devotional service, but there is darkness. What is darkness? Illusion. Desire to material sense gratification. That is Ajnanajam tamaha. Out of ignorance, this darkness has come. What Krishna is going to do? Aham nasayami. I will destroy. What I will destroy? The darkness born of ignorance. I will destroy the ignorance. I will destroy the darkness. Nasayami. Atma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata. I am sitting in their hearts. I am sitting in their hearts. So I will light the lamp of wisdom. Jnana deepena bhasvata. Jnana deepa. The lamp of wisdom I will light in their heart. The light we see here, this oil lamp, is a simple representation of what Krishna is going to do in our dark hearts. If we just continue to do devotion, Krishna will light the lamp of wisdom. After that, darkness will simply run away. By kicking, darkness will not go. But when light is lit, the lamp is lit, it will go away. 12:13. I am sorry, I think another 10 minutes I will try to wind up. 12:13. Now Arjuna is talking. Now only Arjuna is talking. Up to now Arjuna has not spoken. Now Arjuna talks. Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adi Devamajam Can you hear me now? Hare Krishna.
Ji Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I am sorry. So, 12, 13 shlokas, I have already read that. Now I am just explaining the. Oh, once again, I have to go to the share screen. Okay. I think the host has to enable my screen share.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yep. Oh my God. I have to go all the way back and open it now. Yes. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna. I'm sorry. Today we are having more trouble than usual. Hare Krishna. So, Arjuna is describing you are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All greats now, Arjuna is, see, uh, Arjuna is a pure soul. Arjuna has no problems with Krishna, but he speaks for the future generations. So he's telling Krishna, you are telling that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I have heard you, but not only you, even other great sages like Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, they are all confirming that you are the Supreme Person. And now you are confirming it to me. You are confirming it to me. So, Arjuna is giving further evidence that Krishna is Supreme Lord. Please take care. Yes, Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, they are all acknowledged as great seers and saints, and their words are accepted everywhere. So, he's telling Krishna, you are telling me, some people may question, but this has been already declared by people like Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa. Now you are also declaring it to me. 14, 15. Again, Arjuna is talking. सर्वमेतद्रुतं मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव न हि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देवा न दानवाः. He's telling Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Prabhupada says this is the way we should accept Bhagavad Gita, not in bits and pieces, not that we will question everything and twist different meanings out of it. He says, I totally accept whatever you have told me. Neither demigods nor demons can understand you. Only you understand yourself by your own internal potency. Like that, Arjuna is glorifying the Lord. And who is the Lord? He is the Supreme Person, Lord of all, God of gods, Lord of the universe. Even Brahma and Shiva are less than him. He is the God of all gods. So that Arjuna is declaring that I accept what you say as completely true. 16, 17. Again, Arjuna is talking. Bhaktumarhas asheshena divya hyatma vibhutayah yabir vibhuti imam stvam vyapya tishtasi. Arjuna now says, my ears are open. I want to hear from you. What all divine opulences do you have by which you are running the whole creation? I want to remember you always. Please help me. In what forms I should try to remember you? Please guide me, help me in a way that I will never forget you. When I forget you, I die. When I remember you, I get eternal life. I want to remember you always. Please guide me. So Arjuna is praying on our behalf how to remember the Lord always. So with 20 we will close today. Remaining shlokas will take tomorrow, in the next week. 18th shloka. Vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuya kataya triptirhi shrunvato nasti me mritam. So he's telling, O Janardana, again describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. Now, Krishna, I asked you some question in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. All that is gone. Now I want to only go on hearing you. I am getting so much happiness. Please, devotees, please try to come to this mood as quickly as you can. As quickly as you can. Not that I have so many doubts, I want to clarify. We have to move out of all these doubts, the zone of doubts. We have to go beyond that. And then you start relishing. Simply to hear about Krishna, there is so much relish, there is so much joy. We have to reach that platform of simply wanting to hear more and more about Krishna. That way your days will be filled with Krishna Katha. And that is the perfection of our life. Now Krishna is talking. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Hantate Katayishyami Divya Hyatva Vibhutayah Pradanyadaha Kuru Shreshta Nasti Anto Vistarashyame. The Lord said, I will tell you my amazing manifestations, but only the prominent ones, because it is I can never completely describe everything. I am limitless. So I am only going to give you some prominent ones. And this is the last sloka for today. Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarvabhuta Shayastitha Ahamadishcha Madhyamcha Bhutanam Anta Yevacha. What the first sloka, Krishna's description of himself, how amazingly he says, I am the super soul situated in the hearts of all living beings. In one word, we all see, I have life, I am in my body, you are in your body. We are so many living entities in so many different bodies. Animal bodies, plant bodies, insect bodies, human bodies, devata bodies. Krishna is there in every body as super soul. So Krishna is saying, I am the super soul. You are seeing so much variety in the world, but I am one common factor in all living entities. I am the super soul. I am the witness. I am sitting and watching what is going on in every single body. I am Bhoktaram Yajnatapasha. I am the ultimate enjoyer of everything. I am the master of everything. I am sitting inside everyone as super soul. One word that settles everything. All our activities are powered by the super soul from behind. We are not looking behind, we are looking ahead, and we are trying to do sense gratification. We are not realizing my power comes from super soul from behind me. Like in the cinema theater in the olden days, we used to have the film roll running, right? The film roll running, and there would be a 10,000 watt bulb or a 1,000 watt bulb shining behind. And because of the light passing through the lens, then the picture becomes big and it fills the screen. And it is only the light. When the light is switched off, there will be no picture on the screen. Similarly, it is a super soul that is empowering all our activities. And Krishna says, I am that super soul. And Krishna also says, I am the beginning, middle, and end of all beings. So with that, we will close the session for today. 21, 22, I will take tomorrow, next week. Thank you very much for your patience. If you have any doubts and questions, you may kindly ask. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandvat. Very nice explanation of all the shlokas. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, Dandvat.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, that my question was earlier we were taught that we have to do work and God will give the result and all. Don't worry about the result. But now after studying Gita and all, we come to know that even result is also of God only, not for our senses. Whatever we get. So it was shocking at all. Like for like earlier we used to see only that result will be in the God end. So that is one thing. So Prabhuji, only Grast we should give 50% of our income, something like that. Grast people, or it is like for everybody?
It is for everybody.
Ji.
I have heard great devotees, very advanced devotees, very rich business people, entrepreneurs having very big corporations. They have sat on the Vyasasana in the temple and they have given lectures. Please believe me, give 50% of your income to Krishna. You will lose nothing. The remaining 50% you keep will just keep grow. You won't believe. I am experiencing in my life like that, they speak. Big industrialists. I have heard them.
Right.
So, yes, it is not possible for us to develop faith in one day. But let us move towards this. All our actions, whether you do tapasya or you do charity or you do yajna, everything is for Krishna only. That mood let us cultivate. After all, Krishna only is giving my wealth. Once
Sure,
I believe that, I have no hesitation in sharing it. Yes, but
No.
yes, let us not do it artificially. Let us develop conviction. But at least let us start doing charity. With whatever income I have, I should portion a part of it, regular income, regularly for charity, for Krishna conscious activities. That will greatly help you. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, we hear about one very poor devotee called Kolavecha Sridhar. He has no money at all. He earns 2 annas per day or less than that. 50% of that he would use for doing Ganga Puja. Remaining 50% for his survival. That is
Right.
basically the concept. And there are, we see about Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, when they quit their government and they went to be with the Lord, they distributed whatever their wealth. They simply gave it away. They did not want it. So basically, the faith will come. We have to start coming in the association of devotees. We should accept a spiritual master, and we should start slowly practicing. These things will automatically come. So we don't have to do anything artificially. But let us keep this in our head, that everything belongs to Krishna, and there is nothing wrong in using everything for Krishna's service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, once the Grihastha life is over, does our duty and responsibility there reduce? Is it okay to pull back a little and focus more on Krishna activities? Is it justified that way?
Yeah,
So-
actually, in whichever ashrama we are, there is not an impediment for Krishna consciousness, because Krishna consciousness is transcendental, and the ashramas and varnas are within the 3 gunas. So actually, we should constantly remember there is no impediment for my bhakti. It is not that we should start thinking, okay, I will wait for some more time so that I can increase my Krishna consciousness. It is really not necessary. It is actually an illusion. It may not happen at all that way.
No, Prabhuji, I was like thinking the duties and responsibility, like how the sages, they say that they are like sharks and crocodiles in the ocean who come and take away the time that you can devote towards Krishna. From that angle, Prabhuji, like after the Grihastha life is over, obviously your duties and responsibilities, they go down a little bit. The time that you need to give to your husband or your kids, is it okay that when the time is it okay to reduce that time for your child and
But-
husband and focus more in that
Yeah,
sense?
yeah.
Guruji?
I would rather reply like this. Whatever responsibilities are still sticking to us, they are the vestiges of our past karma. So Krishna is not prescribing that you run away from it, but you can always serve them in the mood of serving Krishna only. Whatever you do, if it is in the mood of serving the children of Krishna, whether they are my family members, my spouse, or my children, or my in-laws, I can see all of them as children of Krishna. And if I have that abiding mood inside, then there is no impediment at all. If I see them as
No,
a...
but
Yes, Mataji.
does the duty and responsibility go down? I mean, in terms of I will do whatever my duty is, but overall the prescribed duties, do they go down a little bit after the Grihastha period is over?
Yes, but then what is recommended to us is to mentally free yourself from that attachment to the fruits of your activities. As far as whatever you see as your duty, continue to do. You don't have to give it up. Simply because I want to advance in Krishna consciousness, I want to give up my duties. That is not the correct consciousness. We have to have that consciousness that I have to detach myself from the fruits. Then what happens? Whatever you may be doing, ma manusmara yudhyacha, that's what Krishna is recommending to Arjuna also. You have to fight, you fight. So, okay, as a grihastha, I am doing a particular kind of fighting. As a vanaprastha sannyasi, I am doing a different kind of fighting. But whatever
Prabhuji,
fighting,
like,
yes.
when the kid is 16 years old, he or she has already reached a certain stage of life. So my duties, they reduce, right? I mean, I understand the duties, but he or she has already reached the 16 years age, or let's say 18 years of age when he's an adult. So my duties go down. So is it okay to pull back? I mean, if they will keep on asking, even if they ask for me to do more, is it okay that I withdraw, because it's now time for them to move on in life and do what they have to?
That is
Or my
perfect.
duty.
That is perfect. Because, see, what happens is, we have to check our own mood. In what mood I am doing what I am doing. In fact, what I do is less important than why I do. Why I do what I do is what's more important. So that way, you have to go within yourself and see the motive behind your own actions. Then the clarity will come. Where I can pull back, where I cannot pull back. That will come from your own consciousness. in what mood, what bhava I am executing my domestic duties. Okay, if I am thinking that if I do this, if I don't do this, something will happen. If I do this, something will happen. Then you become a result-oriented person, fruitive mentality. Then you will experience the fruits of your actions also. But if you are only seeing this, okay, this I see as my role, I am doing it, but I am not doing it with any kind of attachment to the results. So
Yeah,
that
exactly.
you do, then the problem doesn't come. So what we need to do is we have to study the motive behind each of our actions. So actually, Mataji, the problem is not with anything outside us. The problem is only within us. The mood, the motive with which we are doing our actions. So when Krishna is telling, Arjuna, you fight the battle, but you should always remember me. That is what Krishna is telling. Krishna is not telling, don't fight the battle, only remember me. He says, so that means Krishna is telling, even in the middle of a battlefield, you can think of Krishna continuously. So we have to understand how it is done. We have to meditate on this particular thing.
No, Prabhuji, but post when I'm like 50 years old and the kids are 18 years old, then I am thinking of Krishna even before that, and I'm thinking of Krishna even after that.
Yes.
I'm not result oriented, but I'm obviously cutting, I'm dividing, I'm detaching a little bit. So that is fine, right?
That is fine. If you are consciously detaching yourself, that is fine. That means you are detaching your consciousness. That
Yes,
is,
Prabhuji. That is what I'm asking.
that is very good. That is what
Yes,
we
that's
all
what I'm
should be
asking.
doing. That is what we all should be doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Thank you, Prabhuji. That was a question that was in my mind for a long time. Thank you
Yeah,
so
that is-
much.
Prabhuji, Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much.
Prabhuji,
Hare
we can. Hare
Yes.
Krishna. So, if we do early Krishna consciousness at early age, then we can include our kids and others also, na, so that they will be from a very early age they can start Krishna consciousness. So we should also start early instead of
Definitely,
waiting for 60.
definitely,
Yeah.
we should be a good example. The scriptures say one should not become a father or a mother or a guru or a teacher unless they can free their dependents from the cycle of birth and death. That is a qualification to become a father or a mother or a guru or a king, whatever. If you are accepting dependents, then you should be able to free them from the cycle of birth and death. So if you can have that mood, then it is fine. But at the same time, if you want to make your children and dependents Krishna consciousness, and in the process you are losing your own Krishna consciousness, then that is not really good. What I mean to say, results are really not in our hands. Whatever we may do, results are not in our hands. When you think you are the performer and you are the enjoyer of the fruit, then you are in trouble. Even in Krishna conscious matters. So within family also, the best thing we can do is to set a good example. Whether they accept that example or not, it is left to them.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai. Thank you very much for your enthusiastic participation. I hope to meet all of you again next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very happy to have you.
Thank you, Mataji. Same here.
Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat pranam.
Krishna.